Everybody, what's up, and welcome to the 354th episode of the Unranked podcast. This is Christian Humes here. We have Alex Tuna.
Yeah.
No Big Dan, but we got Tommy Kaz.
Bumming me out that the rounded number, like 350, 400, that like they're slipping away from the end of the year. It used to be pretty reliable that they would be like the last episode we do of the year, but we've done so many years now that that's not the case anymore, which kind of sucks. But
because last year it was exactly the last episode of the year, and then we started into the 300s, I think. I think that was the episode, the Big Fat Skinny Quiz. Which, speaking of, we have coming up, we got to figure out what we're going to do for next week and the week after. It should be the week after one, but it could be whenever. Let's just start with the Pokemon today. Let's just get right into it.
All right. Bing.
So last week, Shuppet was the Pokemon. It was 353rd Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, Alex, that
we
Dan
did not
guessed
introduce Tuna at all.
I did say Alex Tuna.
Oh, the beginning?
Yeah. I opened with myself, Alex Tuna, and then
okay.
Said no Dan, but
anyway,
we got Tom.
Shuppet.
So last week it was Shuppet, not Shuppet.
Sorry, Shuppet.
Dan guessed it exactly. Like, he got the color right. He got the themes right. He got the design right. It was shocking.
Wait, so Alex, I wasn't here last week?
I thought it was Dan, and Dan was here.
No, I think I guessed it.
Oh, you
right
got
on
it.
the nose.
That's right, because last week was the Game Awards.
What the fuck? This was me and you last week, just me and you. And
that's right. You had that incredible reveal. You had that incredible reveal, which I guess Tom didn't listen to last week's episode. I haven't listened
to it. I did want to listen, but this week has been a whirlwind.
Yeah, I feel like
you completely misremembered that and I did the podcast.
Let's start
without either one of them.
Look, let's start with what happened about 1 hour ago when I was upstairs coming up with the new game for this week.
Did you just kiss something?
So, no, put it on my lip because I burned my lip really badly smoking weed. So I'm both quite high, but also in quite a bit of pain right now. So I hadn't smoked anything in well over a month. I was taking a very long tolerance break because I'm trying to get back in shape. So every time I would smoke, I would eat way too much food. So I was like, all right, gotta bring this down to a couple times a month at most. Can't be doing this all the time. I forgot how strong my weed was. And since I haven't had it in a long time, I got very high very quickly. And the glass blunt that I was using, I went to light and then it's a glass blunt, and I put it back in my mouth on the wrong end, the end that I just had under the flame. So that might be why I've already made that mistake between you and Dan at the start of the show. Yeah, so we're having a good one today. The 354th Pokemon is Banette, Alex, this week. It's the evolution of Shuppet. Banette.
Banette.
Banette. Banette.
Banette.
It's the evolution of Shuppet.
And I said last week was a shadow puppet. So this is a marionette.
It's like a hand pop.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a marionette.
Mm-hmm.
Banette. BAN.
Yeah.
So it's ban.
Come on, you got it. You gotta know what this is. You gotta know.
It's a rubber band marionette.
Come on.
No.
Use your brain.
Use your brain.
Use your brain.
Damn.
What was last week?
It was a shadow puppet.
Okay, and it looked like
a shadow puppet.
Okay.
Like a hand puppet. It looked like
it was like a hand puppet. So what the hell is band?
Banshee Manette.
I wasn't gonna get there.
Tom, we're not doing Game Busters today. Just so you know. Just so you know, we are not doing
Banshee.
Banshee.
That woman is not allowed to go over there near her friend, who was named Annette.
This is a very Haunter to Gengar style evolution, where last week it didn't really have legs and it felt more like like a ghostly apparition. This one is much more of like the full demon. It's
Oh
very,
yes,
it's
I
like
do
totally
remember this
physical
one
now.
now.
It actually has limbs.
You know what? I'm gonna like Tom attack. I'm gonna call him out because
Whoa.
the name origin of Banette may be a combination of Bane and Marionette, not Banshee. I don't know where the hell you get this Banshee from.
Because it's like a ghost. It's
Well,
ghost
that's not
type.
according to Bulbapedia name origin.
No.
There's no.
No, I believe this.
Yes,
Bane makes sense.
yes.
I mean, I believe that Bane could be an option, but Banshee is
I mean,
just
Bane is the
viable.
well. Actually, it may.
You
Be.
haven't
It may
even
be, it
seen
may
my
be.
final mega
Yeah, exactly.
evolution.
Oh,
This
it
thing
does
looks.
have. It
This
does
thing
have
looks
a
like a
sick fine.
child drew it.
It does have a sick mega. No, but this is kind of like.
What do you mean
this
no?
is,
I was born in the darkness.
Wait, why are there different? Wait, what is happening here?
What is happening where?
What, like the Pokedex entries? Why does it look so different in some pictures? And other pictures, it looks.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling. Yeah, let me see. Let me pull this up. In which pictures?
Oh, because that's the mega.
Yeah, the mega has the stripes on it.
Oh, the mega, the hands open up.
Yeah, the mega is really cool. Again, another strong mega evolution for this bad boy. But it does seem that it is a little different. Oh no, so that's the shiny. Gotcha. I was like, oh, they changed the color, but no, it's just the shiny is like a lightish blue purple color. Yeah, cool Pokemon, man. I like it.
Yeah.
Anything interesting in the origin, Tuna? In the trivia? In the trivs? Okay.
So it has like a voodoo doll style, like so in the anime, it's been depicted to show like one of the crazy things is it can use its own body like a voodoo doll, and then it has the pins so that it can essentially inflict damage on itself to like hurt its enemies, which is like actually a pretty dark, twisted, and once again, very, very cool like concepts that they built for these creatures that you don't see this kind of stuff in the game that like if they could actually ever do something like this would make it one of the great like it could be like the unquestionable best game ever if you could actually like replicate the experience of the stories of Pokemon. Definitely nowhere there, but fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like pretty cool.
No, this is a cool looking Pokemon. It's definitely a cool looking Pokemon. I like it. Therefore, if I like it,
I like it.
Cool.
Therefore, I am.
There it is. All right, Pokemon 353. Maybe I'll play. That is that Pokemon in the new.
No, it's Pokemon 354. What were you asking?
Is it in the new Pokemon?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Right? No.
What do you mean, right? You're the one that caught all 400. So
that's true.
There's a lot of ghost Pokemon.
There is a lot of ghosts. Yeah, there's they have.
I think there is.
They have Murkrow. They have all those. They have Gengar and all that crew. They have Misdreavus.
Yeah, it's in Pokemon. Yep.
There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of ghost Pokemon. I'm surprised how many ghosts I've been stumbling into.
This game has a
because they appear.
They appear
and reappear.
Actually, one of the most interesting things about this Pokemon, and I'm really like, I'm so tired on TikTok seeing people complaining about the new game, just being like, they erased all of our old Pokemon, like 600 Pokemon, not in the game. It's like, who fucking, that's fine. You don't need to do all 1,000 fucking Pokemon in the game. It's all right.
Chris is begging them not to because he'd still be having to play this.
I would never have attempted it. Like truly, I would never have even been like,
400,
I'm gonna go do that.
1,000, nope.
Especially when you consider how many have evolutions, right? So it's kind of like, oh, you maybe are catching unique 200 Pokemon because the majority of them have at least one. Many have 2 evolutions. So it's like, that number gets a lot smaller, a lot faster. 1,000 is like an incomprehensible amount of like work to have to do for a single video game. I mean that would be that's an MMO like RPG like
Temtem.
Yeah, no, that's a bit much. I mean not a whole lot else to say about Pokemon. I started playing like the competitive side of it this week because the like true end bosses of the game, the 6 and 7 star raids. There's a 7-star Charizard raid back this weekend. you're gonna need like not a level 100 Pokemon, but like a level 100 Pokemon that has like actual strategies, like based on like what its nature is, and like you've got it fully trained up. It's like really fucking hard, these battles. It's crazy to have battles I cannot win in Pokemon right now, which is like
that
a
is
weird
crazy.
thing.
That's very rare.
Yep, and it's in the first, like it's in the single player. They finally built like, there's always been this weird competitive side of Pokemon I never touched because I didn't find it interesting or compelling, especially because I wasn't really gonna actually, like, as much as we've all played Pokemon, we've probably played very little actually against one another.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we haven't even touched
Right?
the multiplayer on this game, despite it
Because
having the ability to go anywhere and do anything.
it was always like abstract, or it was like too simple, or like there wasn't enough strategy. It was just like rock, paper, scissors. They've now just changed. There's so much more to the game now that it's not as simple as just I have type advantage anymore. Like, and it's much easier to actually understand how to do those things now. Because it used to be very obtuse and like grindy and take you a really long time. Whereas like yesterday, I was like, I need to build this Marill where like I need this specific typing and this move set, and I need to like fully hyper train it and everything if I want to use it to beat Charizard. It's like one of the few strategies that people have actually found that's
A
successful.
Marill.
Yeah, a
Of all
Marill,
the Pokemon.
which is also awesome, by the way, because a lot of these are Pokemon I've never used to use.
Yeah.
But I was able to do that in just like a couple hours. I was able to take like a Pokemon I didn't have built up at all, just like evolve it, do the whole thing. It only took like an hour or two. Whereas before, it was like you need to breed hundreds of Pokemon until you get the right nature and the right ability. You can just change those with like items now. So like you can just like pick what they are, and then you can hyper train. You don't need to do all this fucking nonsense that you used to have to do. So it's great. It's a very good game. It's a very, very good game. It's broken. It's ugly, but it's very good gameplay. It's very good gameplay. Very, very good gameplay.
Very bad man. Very,
yeah,
very
it's
bad
like
man.
it's like if you were like, oh, chess is such a good game, but like I'm just gonna draw the chessboard
Terrible
on like your
graphics.
table. I'm just gonna use like crayon for the
Oh, okay.
chessboard. Yeah, and we're just gonna have to like find like objects around the house. Like we'll both have a chess piece for our king. It's the only
I
pieces
feel
that are
like I
chess pieces. It's not even the
definitely-
same.
I feel like I definitely had a chess set, like a cheap chess set when we were kids, that I definitely lost a piece, and we took a Lego and we were like, okay, this is the night.
Yep. Yep. Like that's what Pokemon is. It's a great underlying game mechanic, the best it's ever been, but it is that old broken thing that you like don't even really want to play, but you're like, I really like chess and this is all I've got. So if you want to play chess, you got to use the junky throwaway chess set because no one else makes chess.
Yep.
Because no one else makes chess.
That's what Pokemon is.
There it is. He's got it. He nailed it. Done.
So before we were getting started here, Tuna was playing a game that he wanted to save for the show.
Yeah. So, all right. The last that Tom and I spoke, he was like, can you no.
Oh, okay.
2 days ago, you texted me and you said, can you beat God of War Ragnarok before the podcast? And I said, it'll be close. So I beat it. It's done. Tom is also beating it. Just to full disclosure.
You guys post show.
We could do a post show on it. I am now 99% done.
Wow.
I am on the final like battle, and it's not the one you're thinking of, Tom. I'm past that. I beat that. That's done.
Yeah, I figured if you're on the final battle, whatever that is not what I'm talking about.
Well, it's not the final. It's the final one that I've chosen to do.
Sure.
So, I obviously I don't want to give anything away. But
well,
this is
so in the game, there is like a set of like, it's not they don't. Well, maybe they do bring the battles with the Valkyries back, but in the game, there's like, forget what it is, but they bring like guardians. You got to fight like some fucking
berserkers.
Guardians, berserkers.
So the berserkers are your Valkyries in this game. Same concept. The last one was pretty hard, just like the last Valkyrie was pretty hard. Now I'm past that. Did that? Yeah. That's done. I'm on the last thing that I chose to do, and it's annoying, and it's one of those that is an extremely annoying battle that you have to get your parries correct. You have to get your timing correct.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lessen the difficulty just because that's stupid. What it did. So as soon as I'm done with this, everything will be 100% on the thing. Like I did every mission, collected everything.
Wow.
This is it.
You leapfrogged me.
Yeah, this is
leapfrog me.
Yeah, but this always happens, Tom. I always leapfrog you in a game. Is that you're always ahead of me, and then I leapfrog you at the end.
Yeah.
What I found interesting was there was this line towards the end of the game that doesn't spoil anything.
Line towards the end of the
narrative, yeah, toward the end of the game, and it says the person says, "Keep my blank out your damn mouth." And I was like, did they reference the Oscars with that? Like, is that an Oscar reference? Or right there, right in your face? Is it? I don't know. Do you know?
I have no idea if it's a reference to the Oscars.
All right. So I thought that was interesting. And the other thing I would say is that I'm going to say, I didn't like it the last time either. I don't like that there are difficulty settings for this game. I wish it was an Elden Ring kind of situation where it was just one difficulty, because I feel like it's hard already, but I'm like, could I have done it on a harder setting? Like, I don't know. I just feel like give me the game.
But they're balancing for the game. That's what the game standard is, and then everything else is tweaked.
Yeah.
So like if you just want the game, it's played on the standard difficulty. Don't change
I know, but I would like it to be okay. I would like the achievement of beating everything.
Yeah.
But you see, this is going to run afoul of people with accessibility issues.
Yeah, or people that are just not as good at video games that want to be able to play the game and do everything.
Yeah, but that's fine. But then there are these bosses that are after game, that are post game, that
but
you
maybe
don't
they want to
play.
see them. Like they want to be able to do it. You can't let them. There's no reason to not have.
Total. No. Get good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
No, overall I would say that this game,
you say that, and then like in 10 years when your dexterity is too fucking slow to play these video games, and when we're in our 40s, Alex,
Pyramids, God of War, Anubis has come out.
You'll be throwing such a fit if there's no like story mode version that makes the game very easy.
I will not be throwing a fit.
You absolutely will. She'll be like, these games are getting too hard. It's so complicated. There's too many things going on. I can't keep up. They make it for the kids.
I used to be able to play these.
No, none of that is happening. None of that is happening. Stupid. But I would say that this game heavily improved on the first game. I thought the story was awesome. I thought the gameplay again was awesome. I thought they even like improved on it. I thought it was even better than the first game. I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, the twists and turns and everything that happened was great. I really liked it. They did a great job. And again, to say that, to even compare the two for game of the year, Elden Ring versus God of War, is, I don't know, kind of stupid in and of itself. But Tom, thoughts? I know you played it.
I beat it. My intention after beating the story was to move to other things that were coming out and had come out. So I haven't played much past the game. Like rolls credits and then it has like a secret hidden ending as well. I did that, which was funny because I did it immediately after, because they kind of incentivize you by saying, here is the top things that like you can do next after rolling credits. And one of those things I was like, I absolutely want to see this event, this thing happen. I want to be a part of that. I went and did that immediately.
I want to be a part of it.
Well, I just think, I think the end, that is the end of what ends up being maybe the most compelling story in the whole game. And it comes out of nowhere in the beginning of the third act. Yep. And everything that happens with the characters involved there is like I think my favorite stuff that this game does.
Made me mad. I was mad.
You should talk about it in the post-show.
Yeah, we'll talk about that specific specific
or I
moment.
can take my headphones off. But
no, just everything that happened
for the main characters.
Everything that happened from that moment on.
In a good way, though.
That can't be the end, right? There's got to be that like very last little teaser scene, like they did with Thor in the last one.
I'm confused as to what you're talking about. We'll get into it in spoilers in the post show.
But no, what I'm saying is in God of War, the first game, right? There was the Thor ending, and that you got that if you 100%ed the game. Okay. So what I'm saying is that yes, there is that other ending that the credits rolled after that.
Yeah.
But then there has to be a third.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't
teaser thing. I'll let you know if I fucking beat this shit.
So yeah, I think that this game feels to me like the best and worst parts of the third phase of Marvel films. They take bigger swings, some of which they miss, but mostly land. And because they took the big swings, it, I think, overall works better. I think the storyline that Kratos and Atreus go on is ultimately better. It really does kind of become Avengers Endgame in that final act, which is awesome. Like, I've never played anything like that. I love the ways in which it subverts the mythology, because when at the end, spoilers for God of War 2018, spoilers for God of War 2018, Atreus is Loki, right? That's revealed at the end of the last game. And I thought, oh, Atreus is Loki. There's no way they're going to do the mythology other than the fact that, he kills Boulder with the mistletoe arrow. But I was like, he's not going to have a relationship with Thor. There's not going to be all these things we know about Loki from the mythology. And the way that the game not only puts the mythology into it, but also subverts it completely. Like Loki being a god of mischief, I was like, well, that doesn't sound like Atreus at all. But the ways in which they play with that idea in the game is really cool. And in the moments where that works, I'm like, damn, like I'm surprised how much it lines up with the mythology in some ways, and surprised in the ways that it doesn't. I think it wraps up neatly with some characters, which we'll talk about more on the post show. But I think that that moment that kicks off the final third act, the character that it mainly affects, like when that character has that kind of like moment at the very end of the game, I was like,
damn.
I mean, I was like, I felt the air had been taken out of my lungs. I was like gobsmacked, and I thought like, so fantastic game. I am so stoked to see all the other end credits, because I've had some stuff spoiled, because I was like, oh, I can go watch all the spoiler casts that I've been waiting to watch, and they talk about like reveals that happen after the credits roll. I'm like, damn it, like that happens.
So
That's
actually
crazy.
I can't even tell you some things in the post show.
I mean,
now I know some more than you do.
We can talk about some of them, because I think a lot of the big reveals that happen in the post game, specifically with a surprise character reveal, like I know about that. So
okay,
yeah, which is cool. I still want to see it. I want to see how that plays out. Yeah, man, cool game. Like,
great game. I really wanted to have this thing beat 100%ed before this podcast started. I was trying.
You've played so much in the last couple of days, because you did have quite a big chunk of story left, and I assume you still had a lot of like other side shit to do.
I did. Well. I stayed up late, but wait, did I tell you this? Did I reveal this on the? When did I reveal this? Did I reveal this on the last episode?
Yeah, this is the big secret.
Oh, this was the big secret, the one that I wouldn't put in writing to you. In the text. Because you had texted me, you were like, "You're getting a lot of fucking God of War in. Did you give like the baby Xanax or something? Like, what's going on?" And I'm like, "No." What happened was, for everyone who's listening has already heard this, but this is going to be news for Tom, but maybe you can guess it. I took off from work, but didn't tell anyone else.
So that's basically what you told me.
Yeah.
It's so like the mother and the...
so I was like, my mother, my mom and my mother-in-law are still coming to watch the kid. They think I'm down here.
Did Britt think as well?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I love it.
It's the only way I was going to be able to get. It was the only way that I was going to be able to catch up to you, and it was the only way that I was going to be able to play this game in big enough chunks.
Yeah,
that like I got to appreciate the game.
Yeah,
because that was that's always been my problem with DLC that comes out way too far away from when the game came out, or I've just moved on. Like Assassin's Creed is a big one for me. Like I can't get back into that game with a DLC because I'm like, I had a whole build going
at the
here.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a whole build going. I know what I'm doing. I got the moves in. Like if God of War comes out with DLC, let's say,
they probably
doubt
won't,
it,
considering the first one didn't.
Yeah, doubt it. But I'm just saying if they did, right? Like if they came out with 8 months from now, I'd be like, I don't remember how the fuck to play this. Like, forget it. I'm done. I'm not doing it. But yeah, okay. So the other thing I wanted to say about God of War, then we can move on, is that God of War really made me appreciate linear stories. And I think from a narrative perspective, when you have a game like God of War, the pacing is so much better than an open world. An open world,
I mean, it's a pretty open world. Like the areas are large, and there's a lot to
but what I mean is
go anywhere, do anything.
Go anywhere, do anything kind of situation. Sometimes realms are locked off to you after a certain point. It's like, no, you're not doing anything else. Now you've hit the story. You're doing the beats. You're doing a chunk of story now. Like that's it.
I thought it was always impressive how obviously there's like this the impending Ragnarok, right? Like the sort of Damocles hanging over all the characters. That this thing, they are the fun thing about the story is they are trying, in the way in which all these things happen, they are trying to avoid it, and in turn are causing it to happen. And so I always thought it was interesting where they narratively weave in like, no, we have time to like do anything here. We should go see this, do this and stuff. I thought it was interesting how they threw in little bits of dialogue that actually like made it feel like it was justified, that, oh, I can spend more time.
Yeah.
In this
I like
realm.
that a lot. Because I'm always nervous when I play a game that like I'm gonna miss something and I'm not coming back to this area. And I'm or do I have, or I'm very nervous that like I'm gonna get into a store, I'm gonna start a mission that is going to take up a lot of time, and like I'm not gonna be able to get back somewhere that I was. So to have like Mimir say something like, oh well, there's a bunch of people gathering and we got time and blah blah blah. If you want to, tie up any loose ends, you could do that now.
And the game is like about assembling the squad, right? It's like cool, like we need to make alliances and allegiances. Like it may be worth our time to go check this out because we might want these people on our side. Now my question is, the moment that you said like from then on you were angry, that was the moment where I was like, we're just doing the story. I don't, all side stuff that I come across.
Yeah, no, I stopped doing side. I was doing side stuff the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. Like I was picking up side shit the whole time. When I say it made me angry, I was like, fuck, like the attitude of the character that changes. I actually felt really bad. I was like, this fucking
terrible.
Sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a fucking video game. The only thing I would say, right, I don't really have that many negatives to say about the game. I think it's an amazing game. It's a lot of fun. It's the same way that the first game 2018 captivated me for as long as it did. This one did as well. My only complaint, if I'm gonna complain, is that
other than the difficulty stuff.
Yeah. Other than
my only.
Yeah, my one and only, other than the difficulty shit, which isn't really that big of a deal, is that these are realms, right?
Yeah.
And there is no sense whatsoever that anyone lives in these realms, but like 10 people. So like the grandness of the fact that the elves are fighting dark elves and light elves.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's this army coming and all this stuff. I'm like, I kind of believe it. I buy it, but I also am like, I'm taken out of it a little bit because you're like, well, I'm walking through set pieces that are dressed for gameplay. And I'm kind of like, I don't get a real sense, well, here's the thing, in Svartalfheim, right? Yeah. There is
all the dwarves like are hiding,
but they're hiding. Yeah, so it's like, I don't really get a sense that there's anything going on. It's so barren. Yeah. And that's my own, it was the same complaint I had about Breath of the Wild, was like, you're supposed to be thinking like, oh my God, like this is, Ganon has taken over Hyrule, and you look around Hyrule, there's like 20 people left. Like, all right, whatever. Like, well, fuck it. It's only 20 people left. Who cares?
It is. I do agree with that. I thought it was, I thought it was funny when you get to Svartalfheim, and then it is like, oh, Nidavellir, like the dwarven city, like this is so cool, and then all the dwarves scurry off
Go
into their
away.
homes. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, back because that
There is a fun I don't know if
Yeah.
you heard about this. I'll have to send you now that you're done. I don't know if you've watched any spoiler casts or anything. That
Nope.
There's a couple of spoiler casts with the director of the game that are definitely worth watching. There's an Easter egg that he reveals on one of them that happens in Svartalfheim, that if you catch, kind of like gives you a hint at where the story is going in the end there. So I'm excited to talk about that in the post show with you.
Nice, so
you
that's
guys
wrapped.
You guys played anything else? Because I've got a couple of games.
Yeah, I played
on the
a
docket.
really shitty video game. This is gonna make people mad. It's called High on Life.
Oh, wow,
my
Chris does
God.
not like High on Life.
So, look, a lot of people love Rick and Morty, so sorry. That's a show that I thought was funny for a bit, and then I was like, okay, I got it. Like, I get the jokes, like, and it feels like it's just like pushed.
Boy.
It just feels kind of like it's pushed down your throat, like Family Guy became. It's just like everywhere.
Okay.
The like jokes are obnoxious. It's kind of relentless in its presentation. And I thought, I haven't watched that show in a long time. Like, maybe this will be fine. This is a game. It's made by, like, it's written by that team. It's got fucking the same voice. It's just so much of it. It's just never ending. Like, I even put the like commentary on the gun to off, but there's so many times at the beginning where you like, first of all, you can't like skip cutscenes, and there's
Wait, can we explain before we get into granulars what this game is about? Because I don't
High
know
on
what
Life's
the
a
hell you're
first person
talking about.
shooter where aliens show up and you get like abducted to like save Earth, and like you've got this gun that talks to you, and it's an alien, and it's the voice from Rick and Morty.
Okay.
And it's all Rick and Morty humor. It's all, and the thing I hate about it is because I was like, oh, I could go for like a fun sci-fi space shooter. Like I could like, it's kind of how I felt about like Borderlands was like kind of funny at one point because it did very few jokes. So it's like, oh, the obnoxious humor is like funny when it's like it stands out, but then it just Borderlands 3 is like it was just like annoying. Like they could have just fucking stopped it with half the jokes, and it would have been much more fun to play that game. This feels like the same thing, except it turned up significantly higher than the most obnoxious kind of stuff that Borderlands has ever had in it. It's just never fucking ending. And I was like, maybe if I can get past this first world area, it's like I've got the chat down all the way. Like I bet like the tutorial stuff will end. And then I just very quickly realized, like, no, this is what this game is. Like you have to like the humor.
Yes, you absolutely
to enjoy
have
this
to enjoy
game.
the humor.
I hoped, because the game graphically actually looks very good.
I don't think you've ever liked that kind of humor.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I watched South Park longer than you ever did. Same with
Yeah,
Rick and
but
Morty,
I feel
think.
like those were your old days. I feel like
but I feel like
the new Christian doesn't like that kind of shit.
No, but I still
New
liked Rick and
Christian.
Morty, and then it's just everywhere. It's just like over fucking whelming. I feel like you always
Okay.
hated this. This is the most anti-Tuna game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, doesn't sound like I want to play this at all. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm right with
It
you.
is. It's just.
I
It's
never
too bad.
liked South Park. I never really liked Family Guy.
But here's the thing about it. Like visually the game looked cool. Like it's graphically surprisingly looks pretty awesome. And I'm like, oh cool, like weird aliens, like cool, like strange weapons, like count me in. I like that kind of shit. And I could not get past it because it's too much. It's too much. It needs to be dialed back like 75%. You can't just like every fucking other second they're trying to do some kind of weird joke. It's like, just let me walk around. And I'm like, very quickly realized that is not ever going to be what this game will be. So just don't play that game if you don't like Rick and Morty. You got to fucking love Rick and Morty to play this game, I think. Which is almost why it's strange that it's not straight up just a Rick and Morty game.
How
Because
far did you get with it?
Into the slums. I killed the kid. And then that was kind of it.
So like literally a half hour.
It takes a little
Sometimes half
longer than
hour's
that,
all you
I
need,
think.
Tom.
But yeah.
I mean, look, you gotta like
Sometimes half hours all you
I will
mom would know about
completely
that.
agree. You got to like it is more about the humor. You're not coming for the gameplay because the gameplay is whatever.
Yeah, which I started.
everything.
That was the other thing. Like I was hoping, ooh, the weapons looked cool, and it looked like there's gonna be some weird weapons, and I'm like, oh, that's like I love that thing. And then the second I start shooting at the beginning, I'm like, doesn't feel great.
Yeah, it's a whatever shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like you didn't even get to the talking knife bit. Like you were so put off by this game that you haven't even scratched the surface of how put off you could have been, because there's so many more talking weapons in it. There's so many more characters that like will annoy the crap out of you.
Yeah.
I'm not much for. I'm like probably like I completed that slum area. I started the beginning of the next area. But I'm enraptured in a couple, I'm still trying to get through Pokemon and all that. So it's kind of a game that I'm like, I'll get around to kind of playing it. And I have on Steam Deck, so that was the novelty of
yeah, I mean it's on
it.
Game Pass, so that's the thing. Check it out.
Right. Yeah, it is on Game Pass, and if you like the humor, like that is the crux of this game. That is the reason you come to it. There are some fun jokes in there. There's a joke.
It's not even that the jokes I'm saying are bad. It's just that it's relentless. Like it never stops.
No,
like it just never stops.
Yeah.
And it's just I get like at a certain point I'm like, oh, because there were a handful of jokes that I was like, that's pretty funny. Oh, I think like the weird AI art they had in the bedroom was like kind of cool looking. So it's like my problem isn't necessarily the content of the jokes as it is. It's just the
relentlessness. Yes.
You need like when you watch like a really funny sitcom, you have to like set things up. You have to let like the person come down from the last joke, and because it's just like a barrage, like it never stops. I can't do it, man.
Can't do it. I have been playing since Ragnarok, getting past the end of the story there, or the main story. Jumping into Pokemon. I've actually been playing. I've started getting back on working out because I got a notification from my Apple Watch that was like, your cardiovascular health is low. You need to start being more active. You need to start.
If it's low for you, it's very low for me.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the Switch down as many days as I can on the treadmill, and so I've been playing like either a half hour, an hour long uphill walk playing Pokemon. Still enjoying that, but a little game called The Witcher 3 has returned to next generation consoles, and I have been enraptured by this game since getting code at the end of last week. It's a free update for anyone that owns it on any other platform. But I've been playing on PS5, and I'll say this: I am surprised at how dated the game feels. It obviously was such a huge revelation in 2015, but I think it's come to the point where a lot of games, or not a lot of games, because I still think there's a lot that this game does better than most games. But for example, like the aliveness of the world, there's a lot of great atmosphere in it, and the world is full of character. But like what Red Dead Redemption does visually, organically making you feel like it's something as simple as getting on your horse. Like in Red Dead Redemption, you are actually looks like you're getting on a horse, whereas in The Witcher, it's like go up, press the button, and then like animation of Geralt getting on the horse. Right. So there's a lot of like clunky animations and stuff that feel very like old RPG that new RPGs have just been able to leapfrog.
Seamless.
So yeah, Ragnarok. They're like coming off of Ragnarok, where the facial animations, even in gameplay, like are so like there's a moment between Atreus and Kratos, where Kratos is having like this emotional moment, and his like lip is quivering. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that, and like his mustache is like, and like. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know you could fucking do that. That's insane. There's none of that. Everything is like hand animation of like, I'm Geralt, that thing. And the fact that it has ray tracing now, like all of the improvements that have been made only kind of highlight how old the game is. But the world is so engrossing. The characters are fantastic. And the one thing I'm happy about is they have a mode now that wipes off all of the markers on the map, right? Because it was very Ubisoft where it was 1,000 million markers across the map. And that was where I'd always get stuck, is to be like, there's a question mark like 200 feet over there. I'll go do that thing. There's another there's a cave over there, you know, and I would be directed that way. I've turned all that shit off. And so now the speed at which I'm getting through the story, like the pacing feels way better than any playthrough I've done before, which I'm very happy about. And, you know, I've stumbled across things that previously, like, I knew would be coming up. And so, you know, we'll see if either of you get around to playing, because I'd love to get your thoughts on it. I don't think either of you have played it, right? Neither of you have played The Witcher 3 before.
That's a negative.
There you go. So been playing a lot of that. Played some High on Life. I feel very much like Chris. I'm not as tired by it, but I'm also like, I don't know.
Honestly, I think I was partially annoyed because I was hoping I would like it, but I knew what it was going into it, and I convinced myself that, like, well, you used to really think Rick and Morty was funny, and I fell off after the third season. It had like a very good finale, and I remember thinking like, oh, well, I know what this show is going to be now forever. Like, kind of like how, like, the couple times they brought Futurama back, they get like these specials, and it's like, oh, they're all these just like, everything has to be this like big brain, like mega, like, you can't do these simple stories anymore. So this game, I knew was just going to be kind of overwhelming, because that's how that show goes. It's like, how can we ratchet up every episode? One of my
favorite, I don't know if it was The Onion or The Hard Times, but one of my favorite headlines from them when a new season of Rick and Morty came out was like, Rick and Morty fan goes in dark alley and gets latest episode of Rick and Morty in a brown paper bag. I thought that was funny. Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm gonna get back to that. It's sitting there. And I started up Crisis Core Reunion, the remake of the PSP Final Fantasy VII prequel that is not like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they've completely redone the story and the gameplay and all that. It is the PSP game, just with updated visuals to make it look like Remake. It's fun so far. It is very much PSP game, but again, playing on Steam Deck, so it feels right at home there. And what I'm happy about is, you know, with my big complaint, Tuna, about Ragnarok, too many little things. You got the runic things, you've got the amulet, you've got...
Dude, I'm with you. I thought there were too many.
I just gave up modifying it. I was like, I don't care.
No, you don't need to. The only thing that I would say that it matters to modify are the two bigger fights in the post game. You want to modify to be able to beat them, just because there are certain things that one will do builds, that the other will not do. And that's honestly, though, if you just buff everything, and because by that time you can upgrade everything to its max, you can put up anything and you'll be fine.
Yeah, so that is my big complaint. The way that the menus laid out also feel inferior to the way that 2018 did it.
Totally agree. I totally agree. The way that the menu felt in God of War Ragnarok was not as good.
The layout, like, it
not
was
as good.
It's way more confusing in this game.
It was way more muddled, way more. And then when you have the control in your hand and you're maxed out on everything you can do, okay, there's too many fucking buttons going on in terms of what you're trying to do. Right? Like what you're trying. Like,
well, wait till he's older. Wait till he's older. They added
too
more
many
buttons to the control.
There are though, man.
For 3 generations, it was the same. Why they have to add 2 more buttons?
Oh, I'll tell you what, if anyone actually gets those like back paddles to really take off, I'm fucked, because I've tried that. There's no way that's working. But there were many times during Ragnarok where like I needed to switch my weapon, and like, you know, my thumb hits the wrong fucking thing and I'm hitting R2 instead of R1. It's like, fuck me, man. Like, there's so much fucking shit going on. There's just a lot of shit going on in terms of what Kratos and Atreus can do without spoiling anything. There's just...
And it just keeps going.
And it just keeps going. And we just keep
adding stuff.
We just keep adding. And then there's also parts in the game where we add stuff and like you end up not doing anything with it for a little while. And then you come back to it and you're like, oh yeah, I was doing this. Like, well, oh, right, I was upgrading this thing. What the hell does this do again?
Yeah.
So I like what they did. but I like it that
there's
there
a
was
lot
some
of good ideas, and I
a lot
think,
of great ideas.
Yeah, a lot of great ideas, and the combat.
Now,
You know,
here's
when
my
you get
question.
when you get into that flow
Is
state.
the next game going to be him with another
Well,
son?
you can't start. We'll talk about it in the post show.
Is it going to be another game? Is it going to be another God
There will
realm?
be another God of War.
Yeah,
there will be another God of War.
Yeah,
what those contents are?
Yeah, but will it be?
Is that
will
an
he have
official GameSpot reveal live on?
Yeah, live on.
I
Unranked?
totally have that info.
Will he have a daughter this? Will he have a daughter this time?
Well,
Twins?
he had a daughter in the original trilogy. That was the whole deal.
Twins,
Basil, twins. So anyway, with Crisis Core Reunion, the thing that I'm thankful for is because it is a remake of a PSP game. There aren't a fuck ton of systems, because after Ragnarok and now that I'm in Witcher as well, like there's so much going on in Witcher, this is basically like you have an attack button, you can block abilities, and then you hold down left bumper, and that changes the face buttons to be like fire attack, thunder attack, and you can swap out. Well,
I mean, I'm complaining about God of War Ragnarok, but Elden Ring had a bunch of shit that I had no idea what the hell was going on.
100%. Well, Elden Ring is even worse in many respects.
Way worse
when it comes to that stuff.
No idea what the fuck was happening in that game. Go ahead, sorry.
No. Yeah, no. So that's the thing I'm kind of liking about Reunion, is that I think a lot of people like, yeah, it is just like, it's very bare bones because it was made. It is the PSP game, but I'm at this point where I'm like, well, I'm playing on a handheld, so it isn't like I'm playing on my PS5 and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my god, these animations are terrible. I'm playing on the Steam Deck. Plus, I'm kind of happy to be playing something with a really good story, but it doesn't have a million different gameplay mechanics. You know what I love? Oh my god. In the game, you level up, right? And the first time you level up to level 2, it says Zach, who's the main character, Zach has leveled up to level 2. You cannot find out how many XP points you have. Like, all it does is like you attack better. Like, everything is boosted. But there is no like, now you've got to add this ability, and now you've got to know how to spend your points on which thing you're gonna do and all that. There's none of that. It is just like he has leveled up, his attacks are more powerful now. That is it. That's what it does.
I always thought Zelda did it really well, but
I mean, Zelda is, I think, the pinnacle of game design when it comes to like having just the right amount of mechanics and modifiers. For sure.
I didn't think that Breath of the Wild had too much stuff. I also thought, like, I'm so glad that their Zelda has not like adapted into XP points or any of that kind of crap.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? All that it is you got your stamina, you boost your stamina, you boost your hearts. Like, to me, that was perfect. And boosting your stamina allowed you to reach new places that got you new, things that you only were able to acquire because your stamina was so high. You know, so I appreciate that.
I appreciate it too.
Not game related. I watched a little show. I watched a little show called The White Lotus.
Oh,
Ooh, I just started it.
Okay, so
season 1. I haven't
no,
watched
I'm
any
done
of it.
with season 1. See, we just finished season. We finished season 2.
Okay.
I will say that it was a lot better than season 1. Without
so far, I think it's as good, but I'm only on the third episode.
I think it's better just because I think we talked about this, but in season 1, I feel like the societal commentary, you were beaten over the head with it in season 1. And in season 2, it's more subtle, but it's there, and I think it's a lot smarter.
Yeah.
This go around than it was last go around.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it was good. You know, I'm not. Some people are saying like the best show. I'm like, this is not the best show ever. Like,
oh God,
no. It always happens
down.
when a new. This always happens when a new show comes out.
But I do love that the guy that makes it was on Survivor.
Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. Survivor alum.
Yeah. I liked him on Survivor too.
Yeah, he was good.
I mean, he was no Dave. He followed in the footsteps of Dave.
Right. But yeah, I would say I just wanted to make the note that I do not think it's the best show ever, and it's good. It's just we're not talking Severance here. So
Severance is one of the best shows ever. Speaking of best shows ever, something I watched this last week, which is also not new. I'm doing my yearly rewatch of Lost. Started up Sunday night. I'm on the third season right now.
I honestly don't know how. Like, like, okay, like I could watch another season of it. Like I think the most I ever watched a show might be Game of Thrones, because I watched it by myself, then with my mom, then with Brit. So, but like by the you know everything. You could probably do every line. No, actually, this isn't true. I've watched Seinfeld a million times. But in
I can't
terms
do
of
every
like,
line, but I can finish every conversation. You know, like
I
they'll
mean,
go
that's
start talking and I'm like,
insane.
oh, I know what they're saying. Like I know what this is.
That's insane.
Sure.
I can't believe you do this yearly. What is
It's my
Therese thing?
like it's I mean, she just knows this is what happens.
This is the yearly tradition.
I said to her the
Oh,
other
it's
day, it's like,
December.
you know what I said to her the other day? I was like, you know what's nice? You now know that you have for the rest of your life to look forward to getting to rewatch Lost every
Yeah,
year.
sure. I'm sure she's
I'm
so
sure she's thrilled.
happy about that.
Yeah.
Ah, it's great.
So how is it? Is it good? Is it any new
Fantastic. Yeah.
any new revelations? Anything you missed the first
Well, no, the thing
17
I
times?
actually come back to a lot the last few years watching it is like, what would this look like today? Like if you wanted to do a
Okay.
reboot of
All right,
this,
that's
right?
actually interesting. That's actually an interesting question to ask. Yeah.
So well,
And you're
honestly, I was thinking about it so much this time that I was thinking about maybe I'm not gonna. I know if I try to do it all at once, I would never do it because it's like an overwhelming amount of work. But maybe over the next few years, every time I rewatch it, I'll write down like the notes for like I'll do one season. I'll cut one season down to like
right, because if it
half as
was
many
this,
episodes.
because if it did come out
Oh
now,
yeah, it would not be
it would
24
not be
episodes
24
a season.
episodes a
No, and
season.
that's the biggest thing. It's like which things would I cut? What things like would you maybe change a little bit or just change by removal without like outright like because when I think about like if you're going to reboot, you shouldn't really change anything too drastically because then you're missing out on what the
No,
show
but
was.
you could maybe do 2 flashback per episode.
Yeah, so that's you would treat it more like an ensemble, but there's also like characters that would be introduced earlier in the series that like became characters later on. But one of the things I actually did over the last year, because so last year when I rewatched Lost, I joined a Lost Facebook group, and so now I've been thinking about Lost a lot more often this year. So I was very much looking forward to my Lost rewatch. but one of the things
You'll be
people
70.
will pop up
Yeah.
that comes up a lot is like the story about the casting. A lot of the best characters on Lost were never original characters. They were like people that came in to audition for another role, and they were like, no, but we have to have you on this show. Like Jin and Sun are 2 characters that never existed. They were not part of the show. Very important, very, very important characters to the show. Did not exist. I think Young Jim Kim, I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's the one who played Sun. She was auditioning for Kate. And they were like, we have to have you on the show. So they created those characters. Hurley did not exist. He auditioned for Sawyer. They were like, we have to like the idea of Lost without Hurley is crazy. It's great. So like there's so much about season 1. It would probably get some of the most changes of the series, which is funny because a lot of people love season 1 the most.
Yeah.
But I think you'd have to change a lot of it because once those like actors became the characters and they understood who they were, the second half of season 1, they feel like completely different people than the first. Like you'd have to change a lot, like fundamentally about the early part of the series so that the things that they tried to do later in the series would pay off better and make more sense.
All right.
But yeah, so I'm thinking about cutting it down, but like over the years, you know.
Sure.
And then
cut down the rewatch.
Yeah, just cut down. I want to make like a cut down version of it. Yeah,
I love it. Cool.
Yeah, because season 3 is
like
also when they were
down
like,
and like do an
oh,
edit.
That is what he's saying.
No. He's saying he's just gonna the rewatch will be shorter.
No.
I'm saying saying he's gonna cut it out. He's gonna yes. Yeah, that's what he's saying, Tom.
Fucking not Tobey Maguire. Who is it?
No, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Oh, it's not Tobey Maguire.
I thought it was Tobey Maguire.
It's the guy that played Venom in Spider-Man 3. Fucking
oh, the other one. That
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace. Yeah.
Topher Grace. Do you know about this, Tuna?
Yeah.
I mean, you know about it. Does Tuna?
Yeah.
Do you know about it? So Topher Grace, when he comes off of a project, he loves to video edit. And he'll like make recuts of movies. So he did a recut of the original Star Wars prequel. Oh, not the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy. He cut that into one movie. he came off another project and took the Hobbit movies and made them into one film, and like that's just like his.
Are they
hobby.
any good?
They're not publicly available because
He'll like
Well, how do
invite
you know he
like
did
his
it?
like celebrity
yeah,
friends
he'll
over,
he'll have like
and he'll
people
have
over to
screenings.
watch it and stuff.
and then
Oh, okay.
people will talk about it, be like, "Oh, it's amazing what
It's
he
a
did."
way better-
It's
yeah.
like you'll never see
People-
it.
I'm sure it's out. I don't know.
Honestly, I would probably just put it on YouTube until like YouTube pulled it off if I did put it together.
Yeah, it's like what are
because
they
then
gonna
someone
do?
would torrent it, because you could still download chronologically lost, where someone recut the entire series to be completely chronologically accurate.
Oh,
So like
Jesus.
all of the flashbacks happen in a row, basically like a soap
Right.
opera, and then everyone's just on the island,
Right.
which is actually pretty cool.
There you go. So real quick before we get into news, something else I did play that Chris is excited about is a game called Planted, a board game.
Oh, I am excited about this. I just ordered it.
Very good. It's a very fun board game. If you've played Parks, which Chris also got me onto, which I really enjoy,
Love that
very similar. It's very fast
Get the
as well.
expansion.
So the plan was at Target, now that I have that credit card,
Ooh,
5%.
5%.
5% back, but it also like had coupons for different things. And it was like coupons on like toys and board games. And I was like, oh, we can pick up the Parks expansions, but they didn't have them. But then Planted caught my eye, and I was like, oh, let's pick this up. Basically, what the game is, you have four rounds. You have a starter plant. And then you pick 8 cards, 6 resources like sunlight, water, plant food, and 2 tools or decorations. And so you pick 6 from the resource pile, 2 from the tools and decorations pile. You mix them up, and then you basically take turns playing a card. You both play one card at a time. And it's like, oh, I want to collect, I'm going to play a sun card. And that means I can collect the sun resource, and because I need sun to grow the plant that I have. And if you have, like, say, for example, a plant will need 2 suns and a water, then you can, if you have 2 suns and a water, you can put a growth token on the plant. And depending, it'll have a number on the slot for the growth token. It'll be like, cool, that's 3 points. And some plants have 3 growth tokens that you can put on there, each growth token worth more points. Some only have 1. And then there are modifiers, such as the tools, which modify, you get a trowel. It's like, oh, every time you collect a sun, you also get a water. And then there are decorations that modify, like, if you have all growth slots, get an extra point for all growth slots filled in the plant. And then
it is very much like Parks.
And
like
it's like Parks,
yeah.
where it is like at the end, it's just like tally up how many points you have.
It's like a resource management kind of.
The twist is every time you play a card, so you start with 8 cards, you play a card, 7 left, you swap decks with the people you're playing with. So now you are going back and forth. So you have to keep in mind not only the cards that you have in your hand, but as you're going back and forth, all the cards that are in play.
It's a community hand essentially, and it's like, oh, you get to pick from a pool of cards, and every turn your pool's going to change. So like, it's like, use the card that you think is best for you, or like, oh, maybe take something from them if there's only one of it, like use it.
And I was surprised.
Cool. I like that.
And it's very simple, and I was surprised, like, by the final the final round, we were flying through. I was like, cool, I'm getting water, I'm getting this, I'm going to play this, I'm going to get a new plant. We were flying through it by the end. So it's actually even funnier. It's actually even faster than Parks, which I thought was already a very fast game. So yeah, Planted. And it was super cheap too. So good board game. Good board game.
That's dope.
All right.
News?
I think some news.
I just want to say, I saw
Oh, never mind.
Violent Night.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
It's, first of all, really funny.
Really,
it seems like they spent all of their budget basically on David Harbour, and the effects and everything. But they're good enough. And
not John Leguizamo. No, John Leguizamo's in it,
sure,
right?
and John Leguizamo. But okay, so there are elements of the family in the movie, which is the not as good part of the movie, the Christmassy part of the movie. But there's a couple of actors where it's like, did you just like pull these people? Like these were like stock photo people or something? Like there's like no, there's nothing there, except for the little girl who was good. Um, the rest of the movie's great though. I mean, David Harbour's Santa Claus is like a Norse Santa Claus. Like it is like kind of really funny, the mythology that they explain and give this Santa.
Uh-huh.
The violence was shocking. Oh, like not to a Terrifier
I was gonna
extent,
ask,
but there were
Terrifier
one
2
or
or
two
Violent Night?
kills.
Yeah.
There were a couple of kills in the movie that were like Kill Bill level, not quite Terrifier level, but I was like shocked by the gore by a couple of the kills to the point where Therese was like holy shit, that's kind of a lot right now. She was like, it was very surprising. A few of them I went a little bit farther than I would have guessed for this movie.
Well, I would hope so. It's called Violent Night, you know.
Yes, it's very violent. I definitely think you should see it. It seems like something that should have been streaming though.
Well, that's the thing
theaters.
is like it just everything I see about it, I'm like, that is a wait till it's on Netflix kind of movie.
Yeah, but then it's not as fun for you to watch when it comes out in like, February.
That's a next Christmas kind of movie.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's Christmas 2023 that I'll get.
That's a Christmas 2023 movie right there. Aren't you?
But we got AMC A List a few months ago.
Are you two going to see?
We're going to Avatar.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, I got my tickets. We're going at 4:30 tomorrow.
Oh,
not midnight.
No, we're going. It's out tonight at like midnight.
I know.
It's out like now. They start at like 7 now on Thursdays.
Wait, so then why are you not there, Tom? I feel like you would have been right on it.
The only ones I do the midnight for the Marvel because it's been tradition for me.
I bought my tickets on Monday. I didn't give a shit about like when midnight, I saw it. So
yeah, I'm in the same.
I bought the first.
I'm very excited to see it. I'm very excited to see it.
Very excited to see this movie.
I'll tell you this. I'm very excited.
Are you seeing it in IMAX?
I'm doing Dolby 3D.
I've got IMAX. Okay.
I'll depending on how I feel about it, I'll probably try and go see it again in IMAX. But
IMAX laser.
I am very excited because I, recently rewatched the first one. I was like, "Fuck, man, this is a fucking movie where someone knew, every shot of Avatar, James Cameron knew exactly what he wanted in every detail." And I don't think there's been a blockbuster movie where that's been the case, maybe since Avatar. So knowing that's the case, seeing the technological improvements, it's going to be, it's an event. And like, I love the MCU. I love the MCU, but
is this really an event? Is this really going to be an event?
I'm not saying that it will be like, oh, everyone will love it and everyone's
the way that it was
loved,
the way that the first one was like.
I don't really.
All I
care.
know is
it's going to
things.
Be yeah.
Don't ever bet against James Cameron.
That is true.
Number one.
Yeah.
And number two, some people have seen it, like Guillermo del Toro, and we're like, I've never seen anything this beautiful in my life. They were like, it's absolutely unbelievable. Like someone was like, the world isn't ready for this movie. It was like, what
the world isn't ready.
I don't know about that. That might be hyperbole, I'll tell you this. After
his PR team, his PR team had to say that. Yeah,
I personally am not even hyped for it, but I am excited to see. Like, I just want to know what it is. Is it going to be good? Am I going to care? Because I don't know.
Remember what the fucking first movie was about.
Yes, you do.
It's the most simple story on the planet. It's literally the most.
Colonizers come to a planet.
With the Wind or Dances with Wolves, whatever.
Colonizers come to a planet. The white guy becomes one of the native people on the planet. Fights back the colonizers. That's the whole movie.
That's the whole movie. Yeah.
That's literally the whole movie. Yeah, I don't think I don't know if it'll be a cultural event. Who the heck knows about that?
I'm going to go with no.
I think it will be.
It will be internationally.
I think it will be an absolute experience. Okay. Those three, I think I will be enraptured for 3 hours.
You keep using that word enraptured. You will be enraptured?
Yes.
It will enrapture you?
James Cameron's penis is going to open up and envelop Tom for 3 hours.
It's
going to be like a sandworm in
his braid penis.
But you will be in... Okay. Ruth was enraptured by the child. You were enraptured by the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what that motherfucker James said about this movie?
James who?
I mean, he said a lot of things about this film.
My favorite was when someone asked him about like when should people go find a pee break, and he said, "Don't worry about it. They can catch what they missed the second time they see
Yeah,
it."
he's like, you can pee whenever you want because you're gonna want to go see it again.
It's just the confidence of this man
Yeah.
is so fucking unbelievable.
My favorite tweet was someone put like, oh man, I'm really getting annoyed by how cocky James Cameron is being, said by a person who's never made a Terminator movie. Said by a person that never made Terminator 2. Like that, like we don't get, I do not think we have really had. Endgame was a spectacle for completely different reasons. You have a great CG villain with Thanos, but the actual action, the spectacle of it is a mess. Like all of these movies that we get now, for the most part, is a mess. And to see something of this caliber with like an actual direction, I'm very excited for.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited to see what it is, and to see if because this psycho's out there talking about Avatars 3, 4, and 5, and then said, "I have thoughts for 6, 7, and 8, but I'm not sure if I want those. Those would encompass the last 3 of the last 6 movies I'll ever make."
Did you see the story that came out today that I don't know if it's even real, but I want to believe it's true? He submitted a 9-hour cut to Disney of the third one, and he wants to fully complete the visual effects on that cut before starting to cut it down, which is absolute madness, because this movie better make $5 billion if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Oh my god.
He also apparently Avatar's coming to Earth in Avatar 4. And some people were like, I saw the script for Avatar 4 and it's the most incredible movie script. I can't wait till we get there. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait, so hold on.
Fucking crazy
Avatar,
with this franchise.
Look, I'm not up on Avatar, right? I'm not up on it. So are you telling me that he's
I'm not either. I'm enraptured by James Cameron and by this franchise's effect on people.
They have shot 2 and 3. They are
2 and 3 are done.
They are working on post-production on 3 currently.
This movie's all post-production.
They are shooting Avatar 4 currently.
Wait, what the fuck why is it all of a sudden firing on all cylinders? It took a decade.
It's because 2 and 3 have been happening for a long time, and a lot of it was developing the tech. Basically, all of Avatar is CG, and it's like they're just capturing motion. Like that is like really all that's happening.
It's like they're doing God of War Ragnarok too.
Yeah.
If that'll
but why is it taking a decade to get to number 2?
Because of the technology to make it look like it's going to look. 2 is going to look so unbelievably better than 1. That's that they went back and redid 1.
Have you seen a trailer for this film?
No, I have not even seen the trailer.
Oh my god.
Everything you see, just remember that everything you're watching
is not real.
It's fake. It's all digital. To the point where people were looking at frames on Twitter and going nuts, like, there's no way that this scene isn't real. Why wouldn't you just film this? Like in water, this doesn't need to be CG. They're like, no, the water's not even real.
But it's funny because they had all the actors. Like, have you been reading? Like, Kate Winslet thought she died. Like, she had she held her breath for like 7.5 minutes. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah.
Wait, but what's the okay? So hold on. So the first movie
the reason is he's been shooting because the movies
are shooting them at the same time.
Wait, is there no human character in the second movie?
So
no, there probably will be.
From the character posters, there's like one, because at the end of the first movie, like all the humans are meant to have left, but we've seen in trailers like there's still a few humans left.
Yeah, this movie also weirdly looks a lot like Black Panther too. They put out character posters and like there's 10 character posters and they're all Na'vi, and then there's like the one human character poster. I was like, that's funny.
Okay, so in the first movie it was all CG, but it wasn't all CG because there was
a lot of humans in it. Yeah,
right. So now this movie is all CG, and it took them the decade to get the technology correct to make it. But now they have it, so now we're just firing on all cylinders, making 3, 4.
Half of the time he has just been shooting the films because the movies in 2 they start introducing like the children of Sully and Neytiri, Zoe Saldana's character, And James Cameron basically said, he's like, the movies, there's not a lot of time that happens between these next batch, that we have to kind of shoot all of them because we can't have the kids age up, which is weird because they're fucking aliens that you think that they could age down. But anyway, so yeah, he's been working on production for like the last half a decade.
So then what happened in the first half of the decade?
He's waiting for the technology to catch up to where he wanted to. And it's weird because it's like, well, it is the most profitable film of all time, but at the same time, it is a tremendous ask. I think he said it has to be like the fourth or third. This too has to become the like fourth highest grossing movie of all time for it to break even. Which is just like, I mean, dude, like
the arrogance is so fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, dude, there's a little bit of Elon Musk, I feel, in James Cameron, but it's creative energy. And look, at the end of the day, like, will this bankrupt Disney? Like, maybe, comrade, he's coming in from the inside. Anyway, let's talk about some fucking video game news.
All right. I don't have the sound up.
Oh, no sound, Tom. So news.
Oh, okay. News. So how much of the Game Awards did you speak about last week? Like, did you go over like the winner? Okay, cool. So
during the post show we did the winner just because it seemed it was just taking forever to get there, and then we're like, all right, we gotta wrap this up.
Releases and stuff you talked about, like surprises and
yeah. So I went back and rewatched Jedi Survivor because watching it during the pre-show while I was like getting the stream up wasn't like a good way to see it. That game looks so nice. It's interesting that visually I don't think a lot of the models or anything look drastically improved, but it's clear like the image quality is so much higher because now it can run at like a high resolution with great frame rate, and there's much more like lighting and texture techniques, it looks like, than they were able to use in the previous one. I'm not sure what consoles this is going to run on. I'm hoping it's just
only next gen. They're not making it for previous.
That makes sense because it just the image quality looks so fucking good that I'm very.
Let me just double check on that. I might have talked out my ass on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's current gen only. This feels like
I wouldn't play it on the last gen because the last game was so broken on the previous gen.
It was. Yep. No, it's not coming to. It's just current.
That makes sense. That's great. That's why it looks visually like awesome. I like the beard. I like the new look. I like the new
no poncho.
Yeah, thank God, dude. I'm so glad I could get rid of the fucking poncho.
Costumes.
Lots of different costumes for the character, which was something the game absolutely needed.
Tuna, in the first one, you had to wear a poncho.
Lightsaber upgrade to do the crossbars like Kylo Ren has.
Kylo Ren's lightsabers. You can dual wield lightsabers.
Yeah. Oh, right. Because we couldn't do that.
Have one in each hand.
I used the double sided.
You could do a double sided. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to be able to do dual wielding. It looks great. I'm fucking excited for it.
I'm stoked for Survivor, and the fact that it's coming out in March. I think that they've. Obviously, this game was going to be successful because the first one was, but I think it was very smart of them to be like, no, before we put out any actual news, like there's only going to be a 3-month turnaround. And I hope more companies do this. I'm so sick of I mean, we've known about this game for a while, but like, I'm so sick of hearing, oh, this game will be, the fact that we know Cyberpunk 2 is happening, but like, it's going to be a decade before we get there.
Do you think Lucasfilm has any part of that?
No, I think this is more of an EA thing, state of the gaming industry. I really do think that. I think that game company, it's twofold. Game companies, Cyberpunk was such a mess. Obviously, though, they've bounced back from that. But I think that era of just like games launching broken with the notion that we're coming out of the pandemic, quote unquote, but there it is. There's the droid. Looks great.
Yeah.
BT. I think game companies also, coming out of the pandemic, quote unquote, are realizing that it isn't like there is no kind of going back. And I think that, especially with how big these productions are on, you and having to build in quality modes and stuff like this, like it's way more complicated now. And so I think that it's more of a gaming industry choice than a Disney choice. I'm sure Disney would have loved to have marketed this earlier because they need some good stuff. I mean, they've got Andor, but like they need a good Jedi Star Wars thing.
Ahsoka and Mandalorian are coming, which there's plenty of Jedi shit now. Or there won't be as much Jedi stuff in Mandalorian now that Ahsoka's coming, but I'm very, very, very excited for the Ahsoka show. What else? Anything else strong?
So Spider-Man 2 is confirmed.
Right. Hell yeah.
Is confirmed to be coming out in the fall of 2023. What have you guys played the first one?
I played Miles Morales.
Very good.
I think Tuna should, if you're not going to play both, I think you should just play Miles Morales personally. Because the gameplay is just more advanced and it's going to look nicer.
There's definitely, it's a pretty quick game. Miles is short. Miles is like a more of a close to a 10-hour game, but even the full 2018 Spider-Man is pretty quick. It's a game that I've technically platinumed. I've done everything for the platinum. It just never popped for me, which I never platinum anything.
Sure.
We
know that.
They've specified that it's going to be coming out in the fall. Valve has already started talking about the next generation of the Steam Deck. They had a big interview with The Verge today. Basically, they're going to be going the Switch OLED route versus a Switch Pro route. They're like, the performance on the Steam Deck is great. What we really need to focus on is the screen quality and the battery life, and any next generation of the Steam Deck is going to be improvements there versus like trying to build a new chip that's going to put out, a 1080p.
I think they could just wait, do it every 4 to 5 years,
I mean, I wouldn't
upgrade the hardware.
I wouldn't be surprised if they, because this thing is so modularly built, they teamed up with iFixit for replacements. I wonder if it's going to be like, we've made a new Steam Deck, but you can get you can get an OLED screen that you can put on your Steam Deck One if you so wanted to. I think they could also go that way as well. But they are working on that. They also want to bring back the Steam controller now that the Steam Deck has seen so much success, and that was the failed product that kind of, funnily enough, like spawned them making a handheld in the first place. Chris has your Steam Deck Chris has one, but Tuna is still You didn't win one at the Game Awards, I take it, either.
No, because I didn't even sign up.
Which was dumb because today they said, you know what? We're going to give out another like 150 of these. And they just picked from the same pool of people, which apparently was under 1 million people, which those 300 Steam Decks.
A million, yeah.
300. No, they gave away over 300 Steam Decks. So there was like 350 total. Out of less than 1 million, how many things do you think you'll enter in your life that'll have better odds than that?
Those are not great odds.
They're probably a lot better than any other kind of lottery system.
It's way better than like winning. Yeah.
I'm not saying you would have won. I'm just saying the odds are higher than you'll ever experience.
And you really just had to tap on the thing that said enter.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't cost you any money. You just had to click a link.
That's all you had.
Lazy bastard.
Speaking of Witcher 3, if you are playing on PC, there does seem to be some issues with the next gen patch, including like frame rate things. People having crashes on PC. I've been playing on console, and funnily enough, I've been playing on my Steam Deck as well because now they do cross save. Haven't had any issues there, but you can roll back the update if you want to on PC if you are having issues. So that is there. I would say that's the biggest news. If you guys covered like Game Awards stuff last week, there hasn't really been nothing too big.
Yeah, I mean, there was that like weird kid who grabbed the mic at the Game Awards, which some people are saying was like an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Other people were saying that that's not actually the case, and there's like misinformation. And I'm just like, I don't know who's saying what here. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
Taking Twitter off my phone, man. Oh, it is nice.
Yeah.
It's so nice. Although I feel like I don't know what's going on unless people send me things or I see, because all news kind of went through Twitter. I'm realizing that like I just don't know what's happening anymore.
I today I don't know if you saw, but like he's just started taking journalists off Twitter.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He just started like removing journos. He removed the jet plane.
Yeah, the
It
jet
was like,
tracker.
oh yeah, you can't, even if something is public information, if it is like current location information, like
Oh, and then he did that tweet, and Grimes did that tweet. This like it sounds like bullshit. Like we were like attacked, like a man jumped on the hood of our car with our kid in it, and they were blaming the airport tracker. But it's like, well, first of all, the airport tracker says you were in LAX like on a different day than you're saying this happened. And second, like this just tracks your jet, not like the location of your car, what your car is, like any of like this. These two things have nothing. This sounds like a lie. It also sounds like,
it's 100%.
you know, like those pictures of like the white racist guy, right? There's that one famous one. It says like blacks rule and spray paint on his lawn. And he wrote that and spelled it wrong. And he was like, these kids came and spray painted it to the Antifa. Like that's what this sounds like. This sounds like Elon Musk was like, a man jumped on our car because of the blade tracker.
It was the guy that like was like Antifa sprayed my driveway, and it was an anarchist logo, and then it had Joe Biden 2020.
Yeah,
the anarchists really getting out for fucking Joe Biden.
Jesus.
Oh man,
it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, so I don't. Anyway, well, it sucks. Nothing.
You guys want to play a game? We're gonna skip mail and go right to a game.
Yeah,
sure.
Email at unrankedpodcast.com or drop a line at questions for the pod in the Discord. I would love for some people, we got the holidays coming up. Tell us your holiday gaming plans, ask us holiday gaming questions, or just questions about nonsense. Give us a ring. It's 805-738-8692. You open the phone app, or you can type in 805 RETUNYA, Retunia, 805 Retunia. Drop a line. We'll play your voicemail on the show. Let's go and play a game. I asked these guys earlier, you guys want to play Game Busters? Wasn't the best response, let's say. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to come up with something else. And then I remembered, what's the thing I've seen the most this week on my TikTok? Motherfuckers playing with a tool called ChatGPT. So I went to ChatGPT and I had ChatGPT write video game riddle. So these are like actual riddles. Some are going to be shit, some won't. We're going to go through a undetermined amount until one of you guys gets enough points to win. We're not even going to have people write down answers. It's you first person to yell out the correct one. But once you guess, you got to let the other guy guess. If you guys take too long, we're just going to move on to the next question. We're going to go for maybe 5 or 7 points. Let's see how this goes. Let's say 7, because I've quite a few of these.
All right.
Okay.
This ChatGPT thing is pretty wild.
Yep.
If you don't know what it is, it's one of these, you know, AI algorithms that's going to be the end of the world. So it's great. I saw someone talking about how like the student essay is like done, like how there's so many of these AI, but apparently there's other AIs that like check against like whether something, but then it's like, but how could they know if you're using like a AI algorithm? Like it's just future fucking is scary shit. It's really complicated. All right. So I had to write riddles for me. First person yell at a guess. You got to wait for someone else to do one if you get it wrong. What is green, round, and gives you a fright? Looking for video game characters.
Oh. Green, round, and gives you a fright?
Yep.
This is a video game character?
Yes. Again, not saying all the riddles are going to be great.
Great, right. Okay.
We have an artificial intelligence writing these. We don't know how intelligent it is.
Luigi. No, Gooigi.
All right, well, Tom guessed Gooigi, and that is incorrect. And Alex guessed Luigi, and that is incorrect.
Yoshi.
Oh.
No Yoshi.
Kirby.
You have to wait for Tom now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Guess Kirby, Tom.
Slimer from a Ghostbusters video.
That's what I wanted to guess.
No, that's incorrect. You each have one more guess. I'm giving you 3 max.
I wish we were playing Game Busters.
Some of the riddles are gonna be good. Some of them won't.
Green. What was it? Green slime? No, it's not.
What is
slimy.
green, round,
Yeah,
and gives
round,
you a
green,
fright?
round.
Bulbasaur.
Oh, Bulbasaur's good, but it wasn't correct. Gengar.
No, Gengar's purple.
I
The
know,
answer we're
but this is
looking
a
for
fucking AI. It could be anything.
is Bowser. Bowser's the
Bowser's
answer.
not green.
Yes, he is.
He's a little green.
Oh, get
No, his
outta
body
here.
is green. He has the shell and the chest part. He's got
And
a lot
he's
of green
round.
on him,
He
right?
is round.
No, I think his
Right.
body
Oh,
is
the
yellow.
body is the
shell
yellow,
is
and then he's got the green. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Whatever.
he's got green hair too, right? Yeah.
No, he's got red hair.
He's got red.
Isn't
hair.
it red and green?
It's red.
Doesn't he have different hair pieces? I don't know.
This is
Almost like we
Bowser.
should Google this.
Okay, there you go. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of the horns,
Yeah.
and then you got the green spikes. The
Yeah,
green,
his
with the
his
spiky
skin
shell.
is green.
Okay.
Oh, his face skin is green. That's about it.
Okay. What is a This is a character. Oh, sorry, no, this is a video game. I think. Hold on.
You think? Jesus Christ. What do you mean you think?
Okay, great. This is the name of a video game.
All right.
What is a garment worn by a knight in battle that also means to remain constant?
As a video. Wait.
Wait, what?
This is the name of a video game. What is a garment worn by a knight in battle that also means to remain constant? Since they both mean the same thing, if there's one part of it you don't know, then maybe just think of the other part that you think you do know.
This is a name of a video game that a
Armored
knight.
Core. Armored Core.
No, not Armored
Wait,
Core.
say the clue
What is
again?
a garment? What is a garment?
Mm-hmm.
So an item of clothing worn by a knight in battle. That also means to remain constant. So what is an item of clothing worn by a knight in battle?
Right. Chainmail.
No.
I mean,
So, it's a garment.
and it's in the name of a video
I don't think
game.
a garment can be made of metal.
Chainmail is. What are you talking about?
Chainmail is made of metal.
It's
Yeah, it
still
can be a
wearable.
garment. It's something wearable. That's what
wearable.
garment means.
Can a garment be? It doesn't have to be made of a fabric.
No,
What
I
the
don't think
fuck
so.
is this?
I don't know. I'm saying garment specifically.
Oh, I got it.
I don't know if I guess it
An
could be. It
item
doesn't
of,
feel
an
like a
item
garment.
of clothing. An
Yeah, I
item
guess
of
it is.
clothing.
Actually, you know what? I don't have it because this doesn't. I don't even know what this means. What I
We
think
are
it
looking
means.
for a video game. The name
Yeah.
of a video game. Okay.
Yeah, I think I have it, but I don't get the second part.
It's something's constant. It's also something a knight would wear. Let's
Yeah.
see. Well, Chris.
Yeah,
also,
I guess it is. It is a garment.
I guess Chris seems to be under the impression that it's not made of metal, which limits the amount of things it can be. Leather.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next one.
No,
The
no,
answer
no.
was-
Okay,
What the
no,
fuck?
Tuna's got
I'm ready to guess.
Oh, what is it?
Go ahead.
Tunic.
Oh, that is correct.
Oh. How is it
I
constant?
thought you didn't have any more guesses.
I have no idea. Tunic is constant. What the fuck is that? Never even heard of that.
No idea.
Okay.
Like I said,
At least with Game Busters, there was like
Yeah, the AI,
if you knew
right.
if you knew Chris's like
Yeah.
like brain,
Yep.
but I don't know whose brain this is. I don't.
Well,
that's a Carl line if I've ever
I
heard
don't
one.
know whose
I don't know whose brain this is.
I'll be honest with you. I really want to take my all the Game Busters I have on my phone because there are these AIs where you just feed it stuff you've written. I want to be able to take Game Busters, feed it to an AI, and have it make Game Busters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Well, that's why I did say, look, since it says it means the same thing, if you don't know what one is, ignore the other because it doesn't make a difference. All right. What god holds secrets that have never shown? whose secrets are kept, although never fully known? The answer is the one who holds sway. He sits on a throne and guards today.
Right. And I'm guessing what now?
This is the name of a video game character.
A video game character.
It's a riddle.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
I asked for a rhyming riddle with the answer blank. I'm gonna reread it, but with I took 2 blanks out of the riddle because it actually puts the answer in the riddle. So
Okay.
because it's not smart enough to understand the answer shouldn't be in the riddle.
Right. Of course. Of course.
What god holds secrets that have never shown? Yeah, what
Okay.
god holds secrets that have never shown, whose secrets are kept, although never fully known? The answer is blank. The one who holds sway. He sits on a throne and guards blank blank today. You don't need to guess what the blanks are, just so you know.
Oh, the blank's the name of the.
They give away the character.
Link.
No. This is like, this does have good information in the riddle, just so you know. Like, this actually wrote a very competent riddle, minus the fact that it was like, I'm going to use the name of the character in the riddle, and then there's no reason to ask it. But if it didn't have the name,
What was the last line again?
the clues are good. Sorry, I hit a button and it went all the way to the bottom of the chat. He sits on a throne and guards blank today.
And guards.
What
blank.
god holds secrets that have never shown, whose secrets are kept and never fully known? The answer is blank. The one who holds sway. He sits on a throne.
Kratos.
Nope, not Kratos.
Mm.
But good job selecting a god.
Loki.
Nope, not Loki.
Odin.
Odin.
I got it. I said it before
Sorry,
you.
Alex. That's a 1-to-1, Odin. All right, let's go and do another one. Remember, first person to get out the answer gets it. Keep that in mind. What has a furry head and round body too? It can gobble up foes, it's true. It has suction power so strong that not even a bubble can't go wrong.
Kirby.
That's right, it's Kirby.
I was totally thrown off by the fuzzy head.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Well, this is like Jigglypuff. Like, is he hairy or is he a balloon?
I feel like we've seen Fuzzy Kirby because of like the Kirby felt games. That's probably what the AI
Kirby
saw.
felt.
Like what Kirby Canvas, or there's one where it's kind of like Yoshi's Yarn. I'm pretty sure there's a Kirby that has that same aesthetic. Yeah, pretty sure. Okay. This is a game. No, that's gonna be too hard. What green plumber often says "Wahoo"? He holds a hat and wears blue overalls too. Super Mario's brother. Alex got it.
I was waiting for him.
I mean, I was looking at Tom like,
Two.
I thought we were waiting until the question was over.
Which
like, to
Italian?
answer.
Yeah, I know. That was the thing. I was like,
no
are
rules
we-
now. First person
no
to get the
rules,
answer.
I love that one. Was like, who is the brother to Mario
Yep,
in the
yep.
video game Mario and Luigi?
But look, if you're gonna get the ones that are a little too obtuse, I got to give you the easy ones too. You know?
Is that a riddle?
Right.
No. All right, here you go. You ready?
What is it? Video game character? Like, what's the video game character?
Yeah, this is a video game character.
What I hate it.
What grows on a tree but is eaten like a fruit?
What?
It's a video game character. What grows on a tree but is eaten like a fruit? This is where AIs are kind of fucked up with the way they write things.
Grows on a tree, but is eaten
Is
like
eaten
a fruit.
like a fruit. Yep, it's a video game character. Like, it's not wrong. It's just a really weird way to say it.
Money?
Nope.
Donkey Kong.
Nope. What grows on a tree but is eaten like a fruit?
Shrubbish.
Shrub.
Cherub.
Tom?
I think Cherim is the Pokemon.
Whatever.
What grows on a tree and is eaten like a fruit? It's technically right.
An apple.
Okay, good guess. Not the right answer. I don't know if
Not
any
the
video game character named Apple. Alex?
Jigglypuff. I have no idea.
Nope. All right, Tom, you guessed Apple. That's the closest guess we've had. Final guess.
That's the closest guess we had. It was
Banana.
doing it. No, I said banana at the beginning.
Coconut.
Coconut.
Tom, just make a guess.
Orange.
Peach. The answer's peach.
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 You fucks.
Peach.
All right, another video game character. What creature is both mysterious and powerful?
That's not the whole thing. I have no idea.
I'm not going to give you that one because you can't figure it out. This next one is actually a good riddle.
All right, go ahead.
That was Mewtwo. You're never gonna
Never gonna.
This next one is actually a good riddle. Like, it makes sense. It's
okay. All right.
This one's kind of like a wordplay thing, sort of.
Stop vouching for the AI.
What do you call a bird that has changed 3 times?
Pidgeotto.
No.
Pidgey.
No, you can't guess again.
Pidgeot.
Nope. No pidge lines. I don't want you wasting your last 2 guesses.
We've named all of them.
We named them all.
Sure. You still have 2 guesses left. It's your turn, Alex.
A bird that's changes 3 times.
That's changed 3 times.
And it's one.
Yeah, what do you call
Answer?
a bird that has changed 3 times? Yeah, it's a 1-word answer.
What do you call a bird? Moltres.
That's it. It's Moltres because it's got the word molt and trace. It understood the portmanteau. It knew how to make the riddle because of Moltres. When I read that at first, I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, oh shit, that's a very good riddle. I'm not doing this one, but I will read it to you. What has a head and a tail but no body? Solid snake. We're not going to do that one. That is too hard. What has a head and a tail with no body? I'll give you. Do you guys know this famous riddle? What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening?
A man.
Ellie from The Last of Us. which, by the way, the 3 times I asked for it to write a difficult or complex riddle, it just gave me that riddle because the character was a human. I realized if I had to pick a non-human character for to write anything else, it did the same thing for Master Chief and it did the same thing for Joel. I was like, fucking hell. You must think outside the barrel to find me, as a character. My hair is often mistaken for a cap. I can climb any tree and always land on my feet. Who am I? You must think outside the barrel to find me. My hair is often mistaken for a cap. I can climb any tree and always land on my feet. Who am I?
Donkey Kong.
No, not Donkey Kong.
Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong. Because of the cap.
Thank you.
Tom, 4-2. This is your chance. You ready? You gotta be first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you call the furry flying ace who loves to explore space?
Star Fox.
You got it.
Suck it.
I can't give you this one, but I'm the one who can turn your dreams into an ever-growing reality. Who am I?
Master
You
Hand?
can take. If either of you get this, I'm giving you 3 guesses. It's a character. If either of you get this, you win. The game is over. You win because you can't get it. I'm the one who can turn your dreams into an ever-growing reality. Who am I?
Sonic. Shadow.
No. Tom?
Dr. Eggman.
No.
Andros.
No, you're both going with like bad guys for some reason.
I mean, the way you're saying it is kind of
Yeah, the way you're
villainous.
saying
I mean, the
it
way
is
it's written
sinister
is
as
kind
fuck.
of ridiculous too.
I said villainous. But anyway. Reality dreams, fucking
Mickey Mouse.
Let's just say that those two words have fucking nothing to do with this character.
The Arbiter.
Arbiter.
Master Chief.
No. Tom, take one more swing.
Sora.
Scrimpton.
It was Tom Nook. I asked it to write a riddle for Tom Nook.
Tom Nook.
I will make all of your dreams into an ever-growing reality.
I mean, that's not
bad.
That's not
Actually,
it's pretty bad.
If you extrapolate,
It's pretty bad.
There's a lot of creative license there, clearly. Cranberry.
What
Did
type
you
of
watch-
instrument
Never mind.
can be heard playing in a zoo?
What?
What type of instrument is a
Bongos.
character? What type of instrument can be heard
Oh.
playing in a zoo?
This is a video game character?
Yeah. What type of instrument can be heard playing in a zoo?
Piccolo.
It's not a great, huh?
Piccolo?
No, that's not bad though. I would say that's the closest guess so far.
There's been
Not
one, and
one
it was
guess.
Piccolo.
Oh, I thought you said bongo, Tom.
But like, Chris doing this is like he's met the computer version of himself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he like relates to the AI.
They're so funny.
What
Piccolo is a good
instrument
guess, not because of
zoo?
anime though.
Instrument
Flute?
at a zoo.
No, it's kind of a wordplay,
Fuck this.
but it's bad wordplay. But it's supposed to be wordplay. Like the wordplay only makes sense when you know the answer, but I don't think like the clue is gonna.
I give up.
Okay, it's Kazooie. My AirPods disconnected
Kazoo.
right when you must have been saying that. I was like, fuck, I don't hear anything they're saying. Oh, it's because I opened them.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Kazooie.
Okay.
Gotcha.
What creature is strong and fast and bright, though it soars through the sky with its fiery might?
Charizard.
That is correct. 4-3. Tom, let's see if you can close it out. I'm gonna do one more. Let's see.
No, it's 4-4.
4-4.
We're tied. We're tied now.
Are we?
What did you get right? Oh, Star Fox.
Star
He did.
Fox.
He got Star Fox. He did.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna pick the tiebreaker. This is the end. And some of these were just terrible. Okay. I like this one. This is a good riddle. It works. What can be found in a pond and looks like a princess but is far from royalty?
Frogger.
Odette.
Tom got it right with Toadette.
What did Tuna say?
Frogger.
He just heard pond and he was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing. All right. That was our first chat GPT. I gotta fuck with it more to like figure out how to like actually get like it to say like really good rhymes. Because some of those riddles were good too. But most of them were shit. Tom, let's let Alex lead us out. Alex.
That's what?
Tuna Targaryen on Twitter. Actually, I don't know. You know what? If you don't know me by now, you don't know.
Tom.
Great Britom. Go check out the Patreon because me and Tuna are about to get into a hasty little spoiler cast for God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, same thing as Alex. Everything's in the show notes. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you're having a good holidays. And until next time, stay unranked.
Elon Musk can suck it.
Yeah, that is true.